Hello, everybody. Before I get started with 2025's first movie review here on my channel, I want to thank Jake Asman for the Venmo he sent me yesterday. Thank you so much, Jake. You really didn't have to, but you're a good guy. Thank you so much. Now let's get on to the review. Now, for those of you who saw my out of theater reaction, you can tell that I had a really fun time with this movie. Is it as bad as what the critics say it is? Absolutely not. Um, But before I get into what I liked about this, let me get to some things that kind of let me down in this movie. Start off with the leader's look and design. It was atrocious. It did not look any similarities to his comic book look at all, or bear any resemblance to his comic book. It was just straight up disgusting and stupid. Pure simple. Next up was the showcasing of a certain healing power in this movie. When it comes to showcasing healing factors in the MCU fails miserably at it. And I'll explain momentarily when I talk about the climax of this movie. And last but not least, while Danny Ramirez I thought was fine as the Falcon, can be a little too comical in this movie. Um, there were times I felt he was trying to be a little too comical in this movie, which it didn't take me out of the movie completely, but there were times I'm like, okay, buddy, you're being a little too funny. You didn't have to be, but I understand where you're going with. But he was good in this movie. Now let's get to the things that I really loved about this movie. First off, the story I thought was very, very good. Um, and I will agree with a lot of people who said this felt like another episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I loved. I loved it when it came out in 2021. It was one of my favorite series, one of my favorite projects the MCU put out post Endgame, and I thought it was really good. The acting in this movie overall was phenomenal. Tim Blake Nelson, despite giving a really awful look and design for his leader character, I thought he played the role very well. Giancarlo Esposito was very good in this movie. Carl Lumbly, the man that portrays Isaiah Bradley, aka the original Black Captain America in the comics, he was great in this movie. Uh, the actress that plays, oh god, the former Black Widow that was taken from Israel, she was good in this movie. But the two stars of this movie. Oh, and it was good seeing Liv Tyler as Betty Ross, by the way. It was great seeing her back as that character. And Sebastian making an appearance in this movie. Granted, he's not in the movie long, but when he does, it's worth the watch. He continues to do a great job as Bucky. The two big stars in this movie that really stood out to me the most was Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, the current Captain America in the MCU, and the legend himself, Mr. Han Solo, the President of the United States, Indiana Jones himself, Harrison Ford, as Thaddeus Rush, who we all know based on the coming attractions, the posters, and all that, becomes the Red Hulk in this movie. First, let me start out with Harrison Ford. For those of you who fear that he was doing it for the money or just phoning it in. He does none of that shit. For those of you who do not know, Harrison Ford and William Hurt were very close friends and colleagues, and obviously William Hurt was the previous actor that portrayed General Ross, Thaddeus Ross in the MCU, and unfortunately in 2021 he passed away from cancer, so Harrison Ford in 2022 without question was cast for the role. And you can honestly tell the Harrison Ford, due to the fact that he's done so much sci-fi fantasy shit his entire career, he basically says, hey, why the hell not? I'm becoming a Hulk, so why the hell not? And he does an excellent job. And he delivers your prototypical Harrison Ford performance where he is awesome in this, where you can tell why he's the legend, one of the goats and one of the goat actors of all time. And he delivers an excellent performance. And he was awesome in this movie, Harrison Ford. He did not disappoint. If you are a fan of Harrison Ford like I am for a very long time, you will not be disappointed with his performance in this movie. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, what about the Red Hulk? I'll talk about him later. Anthony Mackie continues to do a wonderful job portraying one of my personal favorite MCU characters in Sam Wilson, who takes up the mantle of Captain America. And I like the fact that he showed a lot of progression and development in his character, that he was like, you know what, maybe I should have taken the serum, be like Steve. And Bucky says, look, even with the serum, Steve struggled. Everyone, just because you have the serum doesn't mean you're not going to struggle being a hero. You know, you're an inspirational figure, Sam. You inspire others just like Steve did in a lot of ways. You give someone, you give hope for people to believe in. And I like the fact that Sam, while he tries to honor the legacy of Captain America, he doesn't try to be exactly like Steve. And that's what I love about him in this movie. Plus, his relationship with Carl Lumbly's character, Isaiah Bradley, is great. I love the fact that he went above and beyond to get the man the respect that he deserved from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was awesome. Um, the CGI visual special effects, I'm not gonna lie, were pretty darn solid. Not as good compared to like Infinity War or Endgame, but they were still pretty solid. The action was pretty damn good. I really like some of the fight scenes in this movie, especially the one between Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Red Hulk. That was pretty good too. Now, as for the Red Hulk in this movie, a lot of people were saying that he's going to show up between 7 to 10 minutes. Well, he does, but let me tell you, it's worth every one of those 7 to 10 minutes. And there's a good reason why, because for those of you who are not too familiar with the Red Hulk, while he isn't as powerful as the OG Hulk, Bruce Banner, he's still incredibly powerful. No pun intended. And Sam Wilson, due to that he's not a super soldier, and while he is very strong, very acrobatic, and has pretty cool technology, he can only do so much against the Hulk. So there's a reason why they saved the Red Hulk for the climax of the film, even though they were advertising the crap out of it in the trailers and the coming attractions and the poster arts and all that other stuff. But back was how was the Red Hulk? He was awesome. He looked powerful. He felt powerful. He looked menacing. He felt menacing. Something we all saw the Hulk originally before they destroyed the whole Professor. Before they did the whole Smart Hulk thing, which of course was the MCU's version of shitting on Professor Hulk from the comic books. But don't get me started on that. But like I did when I talked about my negatives, there were certain parts of the film where when Red Hulk got hurt by Sam Wilson's wings, he showed no sign. He showed very any signs of regeneration, if not none. And I'm like, what the hell? What's with Marvel, the MCU, crapping on regeneration? Like when he gets hurt, he rarely shows any signs of regeneration. That's bullshit. That's terrible writing. That's terrible execution. That's terrible showcasing of a character's power set. What the hell? Now, the big thing that came out of this movie was the MCU debut of the Marvel Comics franchise's most famous, iconic, and probably most popular metal, adamantium. The stuff that Wolverine's bones are coated with. The stuff that part of Captain America's shield was created from. And for those in the comic books, Captain America's shield wasn't just created from vibranium. It's also created from, I think, proto adamantium. We go look it up in the. Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. Captain America's shield in the comics is a concave disc that is 2.5 feet in diameter, weighing 12 pounds. It is made of a unique vibranium and proto adamantium steel alloy that has never been duplicated. So I was right. the adamantium that's laced with Captain America's shield is proto-adamantium, which I think is supposedly the most powerful version of adamantium. There's true adamantium, which was the adamantium form of adamantium that was bonded to Wolverine's body, which later became beta adamantium. But anyway, that's a different story from the time. But basically, the MCU, after so many years, finally gives us adamantium, their version of adamantium. Hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, they do it well, which I think they will. They should do. And also another thing that it's not really a negative, but it was kind of pointless to do, and that is the end credit scene where Samuel's engaged in a conversation about the multiverse, which was kind of, I will label it as another negative too, because we kind of already know about the multiverse since we're in the multiverse saga, so that cutscene was kind of pointless. But I guess they had to remind people about that. But to me, it was kind of pointless since I already know they're doing the multiverse saga. So, it was the post-credit scene bad? Not necessarily. It was acted well. It was dialogue written well. It was just pointless to do because we all knew about the multiverse saga. So there's that. All in all, my final thoughts is, while not as great as the other Captain America movies, it's still a great movie in my opinion. I'm giving this on a scale from a 1 to 10. I'm giving it a very solid 9 out of 10. And on a scale from a screw you to an A+, I'm giving it an A. A very high A. Alright, that concludes my first movie review of 2025. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.